Mission Hills Church got started when a very faithful young pastor named Jim Folkers in Yuma, Arizona, responded to an invitation to actually move from Arizona and to start a church.
I had pastored churches in Texas for 10 years, was an associate at Yuma for 4 years, but had never started a new church. So this was a big challenge to me.
He got here in 1970.
You couldn't find it on the map because Mission Viejo was unincorporated. And at that time, we saw the big earth-moving equipment moving the hills to establish Saddleback Valley College.
And his strategy was just to start knocking on doors and letting people know there's a new church in the area and would they want to be a part of it.
The Church Extension Committee counseled me to do two things: to meet people and to start home Bible classes. So I was teaching 4 nights a week, plus the fact I was ringing doorbells during the day, I've covered at least 2,500 doors here in Mission Viejo, in fact, all the way down to the Saddleback Valley College area.
He had no guarantee when he got here it was going to work. He had no guarantee, but he went anyway, and he was faithful. If our church can capture the faith and the heart and just the seriousness with which Jim takes his faith, if we can capture that, be a lot more than 2,500 doors that get impacted. At Mission Hills Church, we live for God's pleasure by serving those who don't know Christ and by strengthening those who do. And everything else we do in ministry somehow has to relate back to that mission statement. If we're not living in a way as a church together that brings God pleasure, then why are we a church? Mission Hills has gotten involved in the community. And we've done it really in 3 ways. We've gotten involved with particular families, residents in the community.
The most recent project was one with an elderly couple. You painted their home, you weeded the yard, you did some landscaping. I believe you even purchased a garage door and replaced the garage door.
We've gotten involved directly with our city council and the employees of Mission Viejo.
You put on a luncheon, a barbecue luncheon. You bought it, you prepared it, and you served them lunch, and they are still talking about it.
And we've gotten involved with the school district, high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools.
Mission Hills Church has been instrumental in initiating support for the school, whether we're building a mural on the wall, whether we're providing crates of supplies for teachers, or whether they're just providing positive experiences for the kids.
Having Mission Hills as a congregation come alongside us in a lot of ways has been a really important reminder to our staff members as individuals and as a collective that we're not in it alone and by ourselves.
But God also calls us to go globally. So we're involved in a number of countries on a regular basis, in countries like Uganda, Haiti, Papua New Guinea, Mexico, and Peru. And we need to keep going back to those same places several times a year. On the strengthening side, strengthening is really a lifelong journey. I mean, nobody becomes strong spiritually overnight. It's a lifelong journey. And one of the primary ways we do that would be through our small group ministry. What matters most to the life of our church has to be what matters most to God. It's not about what matters most to me or any other person, leader in the church. It's what matters most to God. I want every person that calls this church their home to ask themselves the personal question, how can I be more faithful? If you're already serving, are you serving to the capacity that God wants you to serve? If you're not serving, well, start serving, and you'll find yourself completely overjoyed, because faithfulness breeds joy. Now is the time to lean into that.